So I felt like I needed to make this video, one, because y'all were irritating me with this, and two, I felt like it gave a good opportunity to provide a teachable moment on why, well, one, people think they know way more than they do. So even if they had these extra resources or money or credit scores, they'd still end up right back where they are, if not in a worse position. So please listen to this video and figure out what you should do with any of these three things, and I'll let you know which one I think is best for the average American. Thanks for watching.
Like I'm MJ and Dash Jackson and Jordan. Boy, I'm killing y'all, y'all boring. Time to give the world what they really need. That's the HOMIE.
Good afternoon, tribe. My name is Darius Lester, your financial philosopher, and this is Mammoth Money Mindset. And today, I wanted to talk to you about a very popular social media trend that went around, and honestly, people's reasoning for their picks on this subject are kind of irritating me just a little bit. But it provided a chance for a real teachable moment. So I'm hoping to share my perspective as a financial counselor, financial coach. If I was working with somebody, what I would suggest that they do and my reasonings for it. So to do this, I'm gonna just go through all three of the options and we can just kind of go over their pros together. I was gonna do pros and cons, but I didn't really see the point because, I mean, in this scenario, honestly, all three of the answers are pros. So let's try to focus on that, but why we should go with certain pros. So let's get into it. Okay, if you look here on my screen, I mocked up my own, looks real pretty, got my little logo on the back. All right, so the question is, you can only pick one. A, an 850 credit score. B, $2 million in cash. Or C, $4,000 a week for the rest of your life. I don't know. I think off rip, it seems like a lot of people see 850, which is the highest possible credit score. Most people have often dreamed of having a credit score, that's above 700. So 850 is like a pipe dream for them. So it's very enticing to have that because they've just heard all through their life that credit scores can get you everything. So let's just start there, shall we? All right, so if we're talking about the 850 credit score, what can you get with that? I just tried to, just off the top of my head, the top three things that come to mind are access to more money, right? I feel like the main reason people want a higher credit score is so that they can, apply for loans, which get them more money. Maybe you could get, a few tens of thousands of dollars, maybe 100,000. Maybe you could apply to get that house that you wanted, or use that money, transfer it over to business funding to start up some business that you've always wanted. Sure, both great ideas, great ventures. I don't have any problem with people using loans to get into real estate or start up their own business. I support that. Other things the 850 score would get you is lower interest rates. So even with these things, maybe you had access to them before, but they were still too expensive to maintain over a long period of time. The higher your credit score is, the better interest rate they'll give you on that vehicle, that house, that personal loan. And then the third thing, they allow you to incur more debt. Yep, they allow you to incur more debt. So my thought process with this, just coming from my financial counselor, financial coach background, is most people that crave an 850 credit score are people with a lot of debt. Debt, bills that they haven't been paying off, which would explain why their credit score is, in the low 600s, maybe 500. Some people touch down into 4. These are the people who are really wanting a high credit score because they've never had one due to whatever their spending habits were or financial situations. So my thought process with this is, if you were bad with your money when you had a 600 credit score and you have, let's say, maybe $20,000 in debt right now, why would you want an 850 credit score so that you could go get $100,000 or $200,000 into debt. That doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, I think people need to think about themselves, think about their habits, do some self deep diving, and realize, hey, I may not be responsible enough to have, this type of credit score or this credit limit on my card or so on and so forth. And that's fine. Everybody has their own vices. Everybody has things they need to work through. You just got to be honest with yourself. So this 850 credit score, honestly, just for anybody, I think is the worst option. If you would give up $2 million or $4,000 a week for this, you're not an idiot, but you are misguided. And I think that you should reach out to some people more financially savvy than yourself to try to learn a bit on why this would be a bad decision. I am one of those people. My contact information is in the description. Feel free. We can sit down, do a 30-minute free consultation, kind of go over the do's and don'ts of finances. All right. Shameless plug. So, number 2, right? Just take that off the table. I really don't even want to talk about that. That's not ever an option. Don't pick that. And honestly, you know what? Let's go back to A. Even with this, you still might not have access to money, because creditors and lenders don't just look at your credit score. They look at your credit score and they look at your debt to income ratio. So even if you somehow magically cheated the system, paid whatever credit gurus $10,000 to get your credit score up, they're going to look at how much debt you still have, on your record, or how little you get paid from whatever job you have, and be like, hey, you're still only entitled to, $500 because you don't have a job, or you have all this debt that's so much less than whatever your job is. So your debt to income ratio doesn't even make sense for us to loan you more money. So that's just something else to think about if you're thinking about a credit score will fix all your problems. So moving on. So B, $2 million in cash. Now this one can be in the race, right? Honestly, a lot of investors, I would say, or people that are very savvy with money, this is probably their go-to, right? Because technically, you can take that $2 million, put it into, cash making vehicles that would in turn make you more than that $4,000 a week, right? But we're not talking about super savvy investors. We're talking about the average American, a good 70-80% of the country, what they should do. So what the average American would do would be they'd buy a house, maybe more than one house, who knows. They'd buy cars, because who doesn't want a nice car? If you don't got a nice car, people don't know that you just got $2 million. Everybody loves to show off. And then pay off your debts, right? I'll give that. I genuinely think that if somebody received $2 million in cash, they would at least use a portion of it to go pay off all the debts that they've owed. So number 2, you'll see save it, right? I'm trying to give people benefit of the doubt. Let's say they got $2 million. You're not going to save the entire $2 million, because what would be the point of saving $2 million if you getting $2 million if you weren't going to use any of it, right? But let's say you saved half. I think that's pretty generous. Let's say you spent, I don't know, a real nice house is what, $500, nice car. You can get a decent car for $50,000. Let's say you and your spouse both want new cars. So house, 5, 2 new cars. Now you're up to about 6, right? House, 2 cars. Spend about $600,000. Yeah, that money goes away quick, right? You still got to pay for bills in your new house and whatever your insurance are in your new cars. So let's just say you use that other $400,000 on probably vacations and trying to maintain this new life that you've now built for yourself. You didn't get a new job. Honestly, most people would get this amount of money and probably go quit their job. I don't recommend it, because that money is going to go away just as quick as it came. But let's be positive, right? Let's look at this number 2, 3%, rule of 72. So I have my trusty dusty calendar. This is a calculator.